good afternoon. The MK Dons may have been knocked out of the FA Cup just yards away from us yesterday afternoon, but at least the good people of Milton Keynes have got the arrows to cheer them up. Michael van Gerwen is the defending champion here at the Unibet Masters and still the man to beat. Will anyone dare to cross him?
Darts time in Milton Keynes.
No nonsense from the world champion. Now we're in the jungle. The champion of the world shows why he is the champion of the world.
Now he takes it. That'll do rather nicely.
Love it.
That is a cracking leg of darts. That really was top notch. Oh, fill it up, Peter Wright. Beautifully done.
Raymond van Barneveld wins an absolute thriller. Here we go.
Oh, dynamite.
Have a bit back.
Come on, he says. And there it is.
What a performance.
Machine on full power. Oh, what about that?
How about the ball, Michael?
James Wade with a really solid performance.
Michael van Gerwen, the defending champ, gets there in the end.
It's a high-caliber quarter-final field this afternoon. The number 2 seed, Peter Wright, kicks things off against the 2015 runner-up, Raymond van Barneveld. Then the newly crowned world champion, Rob Cross, takes on Mensel Suljovic. It's Wales against Scotland in the form of Gerwyn Price and Gary Anderson. And we finish with the defending champion, Michael van Gerwen, against James Wade. All those games, the best of 19 or the first to 10. Alan and Chris are here. Alan, a little bit easier on the eye than us two this afternoon. Sorry about that, folks. You tell we didn't get dressed together, can't you?
Give one of them epilepsy warnings, I think.
Yeah, quite possibly. Last night, Michael van Gerwen, we were fortunate enough to have him up here for about 10 minutes with us.
Yeah, it was a good chat, that, wasn't it? Something different as well.
Yeah, and he was talking about his lack of concentration because he played Kim Huybrechts and seemed to be absolutely cruising. Had 3 darts to win 10-1, ended up 10-6.
Yeah, sometimes difficult when you're so far ahead in a match. You can lose a little bit of focus because things are going so easy. You know, he just took his mind off the game, and all of a sudden, Kim took that leg, missed 3 darts at double there, and they were quite a long way off, to be fair. And then Kim takes the double. He's been in a really stressful situation last year as Kim, and you can see the smile there. All of a sudden, it changed the dynamics for him, and they started playing well.
What chance do you give James Wade against him?
I thought James played very well. He was in control of his emotions. He didn't panic at all any time during the match. His throw looks like it's back to where it should be. The elbow is back in its original position, and he actually looked like he was putting the darts in rather than throwing and hoping. It's hard to give him a chance of winning the match, but I think he'll get his spots. I think he'll have some moments in there, and you never. I mean, MVG at the moment is, you know, 102 average yesterday, and he did that with ease. But we've seen a few comebacks. Michael Smith against Mensel Suljovic, you know, was 5-0 and 7-3. 5-0 and 7-3, and got it back to 8-all. So we know the comeback's possible. This is the elite players in the sport, so anything is possible.
James Wade was quite spiky post-match about all the hype around Rob Cross, obviously the world champion, but Michael blitzed it last year with 18 singles titles. And Rob Cross himself, I mean, that's not his fault, of course, but he reckoned he was rusty in his 10-3 win against Ian White. How did you think?
Yeah, it's funny how some players now and again play it down, don't they? They're almost expecting to play the highest level at every single moment, and that's just not reality, is it? Obviously, he's played so well last year and got the icing on the cake at the end of the season. But he did enough. He got so far ahead. He's getting in front of players really, really early, and then just bombarding them all the way through. He's got such a good lead, it's very hard for his opponent to get back at him.
Yeah, he really helped himself in that second leg, didn't he, with his 167 checkout, the highest of the tournament so far.
Yeah, that was pretty much of a statement. If there was any thought that he might be a bit edgy after winning the world title, this is his first time back in an event after that. Dispelled any of those ideas, and it was a lovely finish, and that was the signature of his display during that World Championships and throughout the year. He's a big finisher, and he doesn't seem to be affected by nerves, expectation, and he's playing within himself, and he's just so down to earth. There's no, you know, he's not going to go off and buy himself a Ferrari or a Bentley, or, you know, all he wants to do is win titles, and he's very much in the same ilk as Michael van Gerwen. As we've said, every title Michael wins, the celebration is the same. He is passionate about winning. He's just a born winner, and I think Rob Cross is the same.
Because that's been interesting for us, because everything's so new. He's got the Premier League coming up, he's playing MVG next week, and that everything he's been doing for the first time, but so far there are no signs that anything's going to bother him.
That's what I'm most impressed with him, the way he speaks, the way he's handled things. We have to remember it's his first season as a pro last year. Yes, world champion, absolutely fantastic, had a great year, but the way he speaks and handles himself and deals with situations, it's like a seasoned professional, he really is.
Me and Alan were talking to him this morning, and he was saying that on the final against Phil in the World Championships, Phil was doing his typical thing, trying to engage him on stage and off stage, and he wasn't having absolutely
any
any
contact,
of it.
That sort of thing. What was he
anything,
doing?
little comments, asking about if he'd have won the ball, would he have give it back? In between the breaks, when you go backstage, and sometimes you can have a sit down, sometimes you'll have a little practice. There's a board back there. Again, Phil was trying to engage him in a little bit of mind games.
He just did his own thing. He said, "I'm here to win the title," and just carried on with it, and obviously got there in the end.
Yeah, it's
Brilliant.
fascinating, isn't it? It's fascinating to see his progress. There was a lot of testosterone on show yesterday. If you saw it here in Milton Keynes, Gerwyn Price, always with the fist pumping, and he did that again yesterday as he beat Daryl Gurney. And his reward is a quarter-final matchup with Gary Anderson, but the greater reward of all is a chinwag with Dan Dawson.
The Iceman, Gerwyn Price, top 16 in the world, debut at the Masters, Premier League coming up. You've hit the big time now, haven't you, Gerwyn?
It's going pretty well so far, yeah. But I'm just looking forward to my game today, and looking forward to getting my debut in the Premier League underway next week.
Are you now a better darts player than you ever were a rugby player, do you reckon?
I don't know. I'm still improving in darts. I think I still got a lot more to come. So no, I think I was probably still a better rugby player than I am a dart player at the moment. So but I've got plenty more time in darts, and hopefully that'll change.
Some of the old rugby traits remain, though. We saw you taking on Daryl Gurney. That was pretty feisty at times, wasn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter who I play, really. That's just my game, and I don't think Daryl liked it. I don't think other people like it, but it's just my game. It's the way I'm going to be, and I'm not going to change.
Preparation for this hasn't been completely ideal, has it? I mean, you've had ear infection, all sorts of problems.
Yeah, I've been suffering for the last 2 weeks with, I think I've got sinus problems, to be honest with you, but every morning I probably sound a bit rough now. I probably look rough as well, but I'm just getting through the day and getting through the games at the moment, but I'll hopefully get it sorted sooner rather than later.
Gary Anderson this afternoon. You've had your run-ins with him in the past. Could be another feisty one, could it not?
To be honest with you, I don't think I've had run-ins with him, but I've had run-ins with people who run his social media. But that's in the past. Just forget about all that. And sometimes it's not even the players that you argue with; it's their partners. I mean, there we go. I'll just say no more.
Look, you've got potentially 3 games today. Are you ready now, Gerwyn, to be a televised trophy winner in the PDC?
Yeah, like I said, I still got to improve. I've got to up my averages. I've got to be more consistent. But I'm putting hours in on the practice ball when I can, and anything's possible. But I need to up my game today against Gary if I'm going to win. But I'm confident I can go on, and I believe I can win tournaments.
And if you do that, does that finally mean you're a better darts player than you were a rugby player?
Not quite yet. I've got quite a bit of improvement, I think.
Can't wait to see it. Good luck.
No probs. Oh! I bet he caught that. Sorted.
Well
Down
done,
there
Dan.
always likes to make a splash, doesn't he? Bless him. But Gerwyn Price, he loves all the fist pumping. He loves to try and get in people's faces, to try and clearly get a psychological edge. What sort of effect does that have on the likes of Gary Anderson? Because he's done it before to him, hasn't he?
Yeah, but the difference is he comes from a sport where it's very aggressive, but it's also respectful. And with Gerwyn, away from the hockey, it's a different person altogether. And I think that comes from being a rugby player, because you go on that field with so much testosterone and hype. Yet when you take him away from it, he's a normal guy.
Yes, there's definitely been some niggle and circus clown jibes as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but Gerwyn is third up this afternoon against Gary Anderson. But Peter Wright and Raymond van Barneveld, no less, will kick things off when we come back.